Returning now to our top story, Labor's Industrial Relations Bill will pass this year after a deal with Senator David Pocock to boost safeguards for small and medium businesses and regularly review the adequacy of welfare payments. Joining me now live is Independent Senator Jacqui Lambie. Thank you for joining us. How do you feel about this?
Look, I thought, David and I were standing on the side that we were going to push this out until after Christmas at the very minimum, at least split the bill, because there are some contentious issues with the bill. I do not believe those contentious issues have been fixed with what he is proposing, which is very, very worrying, and I can see why businesses today are up in arms, and that's without it filtering through all of them by the end of the day. It is very, very worrying. So, look, he's done what he's done. He's found a compromise with the Labor Party to do this. He believes he's done the right thing. I don't agree with him. That is the problem. So I guess we're going to see what's done is now done. There is not a lot we can do apart from trying to put through some amendments to try and fix it up a little bit more. But quite frankly, it was a massive bill. We know that 90% of it was great, no problems whatsoever. But there is problems with it, and that's the multi-employer bargaining bit, the common interest groups, all this sort of stuff. So there is a few bits and pieces, and I just don't think that what I'm seeing with what they're proposing is actually touching any of those points that were contentious in the first place to fix them. I would have really liked him to stay on the line and at least get to the point where they could split the bill, because I can tell you now, if it had just sat on the line, there is no way Labor would have knocked back that whole bill by the end of the week. They would have split the bloody bill. I've been up here long enough to see how it works, and that is how it should have been done.
So why do you think David Pocock folded at the 11th hour?
Well, you know what? It is very difficult. I know what it's like to be a new person up here. There was a lot of pressure on you. The pressure that was applied to him certainly wasn't applied to our office, and it is a lot to contend with. It has been a very long year when you've run through an election. I know that everybody's extremely tired. You have tired staff as well. It is very difficult. They absolutely pounded him. I know that they had certainly had unions out the front of his office, etc., etc. You didn't see that in front of my office. You never will. You never have. And that is because both major parties know that they can't pull the wool over our eyes. So, you know, when you have that tremendous amount of pressure and you are tired, your resilience becomes a lot less. And unfortunately, Labor's had the win on this one. Let them go. I am really, really concerned about, especially having the Australian Building Construction Code moved out of that. When it comes to the trade unions, there is now no choker chain around them. That is going to be a problem in the future. If that means more strikes in the future, that is going to be a problem. We're already seeing the cost of living. And if you think the cost of living is going through the roof now, if those strikes start up in the next 12 months, and they won't muck around. The CFMEU are like bulldogs. They will move in fast. And I'll tell you what, then you're really going to feel it. So it is a real problem for me, and I am terribly worried about it. And that's why businesses are worried about all this. OK, so there's no chance that you will support this bill at all? I will be listening to businesses over the next 48 hours. The good thing is they've changed the red this morning on how we're going to sit for the next few days. They have given some breathing space for those businesses to air their grievances out there over the next few days. We'll be looking at amendments, no doubt. We'll be looking at the amendments that the Liberal Party would like to put through and see if we can make any changes. But unfortunately, usually when you've compromised with one of the majors, that means that any amendments come through you to knock them down as well. Usually that's part of the process. So I guess we'll see what we can do. All we can try and do right now, whether it's myself, the National Party or the Liberal Party, is try and fix this just a little bit better. But I don't like our chances, to be honest with you. I think as is how it's going to go through.
Just finally, we're running out of time, but I just want to ask you, Cabinet this week will discuss a proposal to intervene in the energy market and bring down power prices. Are you at all confident that we might see lower prices by Christmas?
I'm not sure. Is that because if they're going to do that, it must be done by regulation. So if it needs to be voted on, we're actually not here. So I'm not sure, you know, why they're giving all these people at Christmas time hope. So if somebody could tell me how they intend to do that, if it's through regulation, that will work. But if it's going to mean that we've got to come back here and sit to deal with a bill to deal with this, that's not going to be done before Christmas time. So this is something I probably would have looked at before I looked at IR legislation on what we're going to do about our energy prices that are going through the roof right now, what we're going to do about interest rates where people are now starting to look at like they're going to lose their houses. This is what I would have been looking at, because I can tell you you're not getting wage rises before Christmas Day, and I don't even see you getting very much of that, if any at all, by the end of next year, the way things are going.
Now, it's going to be a busy end to the year, no doubt, and a busy week ahead.